is Malcolm Campbell from the Mosaic Musings blog, and today I'm going to do a how-to video about how to modify a linear drain, the likes of the type that Noble and Schluter are selling into the market. Very nice drains. However, they're designed to be used with their waterproof membrane system in showers. But I prefer to have the old rubber underneath the concrete for my showers, so I've invented a modification to the drain system using standard off-the-shelf parts so that it works with the old style rubber waterproofing system. Here's the parts. A linear drain by Noble. There's the drain grate. They call them Freestyle linear drains. And I think these are great drains. I really like them. They work well with the large format tiles so that you can slope the floor of the drain in a way that really works with larger format tiles. There's the drain body and the drain grate itself, and then over there is some PVC pipe primer and cement and the X15 OD rubber waterproof liner welding cement. And over here is the familiar OD 40mm PVC rubber liner, and I've already got my concrete pre-slope in place going to this standard off-the-shelf PVC clamping ring. Little newspaper down there, keep the trash from going down the drain. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to make this whole drain system work with this drain clamping ring and this threaded body. So next, what I've done is I've severed the threaded part off of the drain right here. Cut that off with my Sawzall, and now I've got the linear drain upside down, and you can see it's made to fit a 2-inch PVC pipe with a glue fit. The threaded body fits in there loosely, so you can't do a glue fit with that. But if you take a strip of the PVC rubber liner and cut that, it will fill that space very nicely. So you use that as a PVC shim. The next thing what we'll do is we'll glue all these items up. So that'll fit very tightly in there. We'll glue all these up, let them cure with these various products over here. Makes a watertight seal. Next, I installed the purple primer to the cut end of the threaded body, and I put the liner solvent weld product on the liner so that it would take a PVC glue bond. These are drying up. In a minute I'll glue it up. Now here I've glued it up. Just be sure to use lots of the PVC cement. I put a couple coats on the threads. Let them get semi-dry as we went. 3 coats, and then a coat on the rubber liner as well. Now you see there's a seam there, and that's really going to be okay because of the redundancy in the old rubber pan liner system. Also, this is tucked behind the this is tucked underneath the lip here as well. But most importantly, the redundancy of the rubber system is that any water that would get past this ends up on the rubber liner and flows down to the clamping ring here and goes through those weeps down the drain. So it's all good. Now while this is curing, I'm going to go ahead and put it, you can see how snug a fit it is in here. I haven't glued this up. I'm not going to glue it up until I actually set the drain body. But the fit is real tight, which is what you want when you glue this up down the road. So there you go. If you're not a fan of the surface membrane system, which I'm not, because you know, as long as that membrane's open, anybody can come along with a couple of nails and drop them on there and then step on the membrane, or even you can cut it with your own razor knife when you're, especially when you're working with mosaics and trying to spread joints. And the 40 mil rubber system's been around for a long time. It worked real well, and before that we had the lead pan liners. So I like that best. Be sure you know that your customer understands what you're doing here, and so long as you know what you're doing and make appropriate attention to your waterproofing details, and of course stand behind your work, whether you're using the surface waterproofing membrane system that are designed to work with these linear drains, or you're going to modify it and use the rubber system. Go for it. This is the Mosaic Musings blog. Happy tiling. Here we are again modifying the linear drain, and this is day number 2. I've let this modified threaded body with the rubber shim around it and all the glue up cure for a day in situ. And if you study this, you know, I'm trying to roll the rubber off and it's glued very well. And so there's probably half a dozen threads in this area right here, redundancies of water protection. Again, we've got the seam right here, but when we glue that up, the glue is going to flow into that seam, and then again, anything that were to get past this, I mean, just the same, we've got a tile floor that's porous at the grout joints. Now we've got the waterproof liner in place. Any water that we get past that will hit this liner, and because the liner itself is sloped to the drain at the weeps, it would then go into the on top of the liner and then into the weeps. So again, notice the tight fit here. Real good. That's about a slip fit, like for a PVC repair coupling. What I'll do is I'll thread this in to the clamping ring and test fit it, because I'm only going to have one shot to glue this up, so everything has to be dry fit correctly before I actually glue it up. There you go. There's my drain clamping ring, all clamped down on the liner, glued up in place. Nice little weep holes right there, all around. And I've got my threaded riser with the rubber shim on it. Over here I've got my drain body. It's turned upside down. I'm going to purple primer these and put some glue on them. Here's a control line that I'm going to set my drain against. That all ensures that my drain's in square to the layout that I want on this floor. So I'll show you the dry fit. Boop, glue it up, and we're done. Okay, I said purple primer, but I use the X15 rubber welding cement on the rubber, because that stuff is made to work with the rubber PVC. It's a better binder, softens up the rubber and sticks to whatever touches it. Especially all these chemicals and PVCs, they're just made to made up. So got the glue over here, and anytime you do a slip joint repair, you want to be liberal with this stuff, because slip fits are a little looser than the standard PVC couplings, what they call push fit. Push fits are so tight that when you glue them up, if you don't hold them together when you glue them up, they'll actually shove back out. Slip fit isn't quite as tight, so we're gonna add a little extra glue to the situation here. Okay, and drop it in place. Oh, look at that. Look at it squeeze out there. And now we're going to make sure that the drain itself is coming to the control lines. Oops, right there. That's right where we want to be. Okay, you want to let this stuff cure for a little while. And I'm going to throw a little bit of glue around here just for good measure. Okay, I'm going to let that cure up. I'm going to go fetch water, start chopping mud, and pack it around in these curbs all around. That'll give this drain here a good 30 to 45 minutes, perhaps even an hour if I take a little water break. Plenty enough time to cure up. Happy tiling!